They say you can actually see the moment the light leaves an actor's eyes. On March 15, 2026, at the 98th Academy Awards, the world wasn't just watching a ceremony, they were watching a visible, public fracturing. Timothée Chalamet, the man who was supposed to be the undisputed successor to DiCaprio, sat in the front row with an expression that can only be described as haunted. As Michael B. Jordan's name was called for Sinners, the camera caught a glimpse of the golden boy that the PR teams didn't want you to see. Expert lip reader Nicola Hickling later decoded the frantic whispers shared between Timothée and Kylie Jenner. He didn't just look disappointed, he looked desperate. "I hate this," he allegedly whispered, his legs shaking uncontrollably. Kylie's response wasn't a comfort, it was a cold, calculated command. "We're all right, okay? Now you're being a child, so shut up." This wasn't just a lost award, it was the moment the Kardashian Curse moved from an internet meme to a career-ending reality. To understand the weight of that night, you have to look past the red carpet and into the shadows of the family's history. There is a persistent legend that traces back to 1809 and a woman named Keiko Kardashian. Desperate to ensure her descendants would never know the sting of poverty or irrelevance, she is said to have entered into a bargain with a coven of witches. The terms were brutal. The women of the family would be granted eternal fame and beauty, but only if they functioned as energy siphons. They were required to lure the world's most successful men, the kings of the court, the stage, and the screen, into their lives. Once the man is locked in, the curse begins to drain his vitality, his professional luck, and his mental clarity to fuel the Kardashian empire's continued rise. If you look at the 2026 results, where Marty Supreme went 0 for 9 despite a multi-million-dollar campaign, the math starts to look more like a ritual than a coincidence. The weeks leading up to the Oscars were a masterclass in self-sabotage. Usually the darling of the press, Timothée suddenly began crashing out in interviews. During a variety town hall, he inexplicably dismissed ballet and opera as art forms no one cares about anymore, sparking an industry-wide firestorm. Even Doja Cat joined the fray, dragging him in a viral TikTok for his lack of respect. It was as if his common sense had been siphoned away, replaced by a strange, cold arrogance. The night of the Oscars was the final blow. Beyond the loss to Michael B. Jordan, the tension between Timothée and his own sister, Pauline, was caught on film. He was seen begging her to go easy on Kylie, hinting at a deep-seated family rift that the public was never supposed to see. The golden boy shield was gone, replaced by a man faking smiles while his reputation burned in real time. Just as the Oscar dust was settling, the curse landed a killing blow to his personal life. The Daily Mail dropped a nuclear exclusive with Sarah Tena, a former adult film star. She didn't just claim they had a fling, she detailed a secret 3-year romantic involvement that started in 2020. She described Timothée as a gentleman who serenaded her with Bob Dylan songs, only to completely blindside her when he went public with Kylie. Tena revealed that she was still in love with him, and the sudden cutoff left her questioning everything. The reveal painted Timothée as someone who had traded a genuine, grounded connection for the hollow, high-stakes world of Kardashian branding. The timing of the leak was impeccable, appearing exactly when he was most vulnerable, ensuring that his professional loss was matched by a total moral collapse in the eyes of the public. Chalamet is merely the latest entry in a ledger filled with broken legends. Take Lamar Odom, for example. Before Chloe, he was a back-to-back NBA champion with the Lakers, a man at the absolute peak of his physical and professional power. After their marriage, his life became a headline for all the wrong reasons: addiction, cheating scandals, and a near-death overdose in 2015. Then there's Tristan Thompson. In 2016, he was a key piece of the Cleveland Cavaliers' championship run. Today, his name is synonymous with benchwarming and public infidelity. Even James Harden, an MVP contender, described his time in the Kardashian orbit as the worst year of his life. These aren't just slumps, they are total eclipses of talent. But the most terrifying example of the siphoning effect is Kanye West. Pre-Kim, he was the untouchable architect of modern culture. He entered the family in 2014 as rap royalty. By 2016, he was being hospitalized for a mental breakdown. And by 2022, he had lost his marriage, his multi-billion-dollar Yeezy empire, and his standing in the industry. As his world crumbled, the Kardashians only grew more powerful, launching billion-dollar brands and expanding their reach. The man was drained, and the family was fueled. What we saw at the 2026 Oscars wasn't just an actor losing an award. It was the latest chapter in a century-old cycle. Whether you believe in the witches of 1809 or just the cold reality of a PR machine that consumes talent for content, the result is the same. Timothée Chalamet entered this relationship as a rising star and is leaving it as a cautionary tale. Perhaps the question isn't whether the Kardashian curse is real, but rather who is the next sacrifice scheduled to keep the empire alive.